Hello, sister travelers. Well, welcome back. I love having folks that are listeners on my show, and today's guest is just that. Kimberly Long. She is a lover of many things. Her favorite sports are mountain biking and paddleboarding. Favorite pastimes are gardening and cooking. She's led a singles group for 6 years, growing from 7 people to 120 people and resulting in 7 couples finding each other and marrying. She's planned events every weekend, always discovering new venues from all over the hill country in Texas. Kimberly is loving her new venture as a tour guide for Christian luxury vacations. She feels it's a fit like a glove. Kimberly's passion is photography and everything beautiful. She also loves helping women find confidence through becoming more healthy, spiritually, physically, emotionally, and financially, as evidenced by her book, Financial Hope. She has a daughter, son-in-law, and 2 grandbabies. And although they are 13 and 18, she calls them baby doll and they allow her. So I hope you enjoyed today's conversation I have with Kimberly Long. Well, hello, Kimberly. Thank you so much for being here on my podcast.
Thank you for having me, Cheryl. I love listening to your podcast all the time.
I know. So Kimberly and I spoke a while back, and she's a longtime listener of my podcast, which just thrills me because I love when listeners reach out to me and we actually get to connect. And the other cool thing about Kimberly is she lives in Texas like I do. So, we could potentially meet up some point, but she
We'd
reached
love
out
that.
and was sharing just not just how much she loved the podcast, but some of her adventures that she's been on. And I know since the last time we talked, Kimberly, you have been doing some travel, I think this summer, fall time period. Tell me what you've been up to. Where have you gone and what have you done?
Well, I went on a bike tour, which I would tell everybody they should go on after I went with some friends. I was invited by one couple that I know from my area and ended up that there were 18 people from all over the hill country, like Austin,
Yeah.
Fredericksburg, San Antonio. So I've made new friends in this area. And then there were even a few more that were from Kentucky and Washington. So that was, or excuse me, Kentucky and California, a
Okay.
few couples. And so we met some new people, and our group just gelled and got along awesome. Great men and women both.
Okay.
And it was the best trip. It was to Oregon, Washington, to the Willamette Valley. I have to say that, think about
Mm-hmm.
how to say that, and the Columbia River Gorge.
Oh,
And it was amazing.
I bet. So how many days did that take you?
It was a 6-day tour.
6 days you
And
biked all 6 days? Yes.
all 6 days. And my friend told me she's a real avid cyclist, road cyclist, and I'm a mountain biker. And she said,
Okay.
I think I'm going to get an e-bike. And I said, you know what? I think that's a great idea. And so she ended up not renting an e-bike after all. And the whole trip, she kept saying, I wished I would have rented an e-bike like you, because at the very end, they would give you a choice. Do you want to get in the van and finish for your day, or do you want to take the last mountain and go the last miles? And I always took it because it was, not hard with, you can put it in turbo even if you want to. There's 4 settings on a e-bike. I don't know if you've ever ridden
No,
one.
I haven't, but you are not the first person that has recommended using an e-bike when doing, like a biking tour. So again, great. I mean, if I ever do a biking tour, I'm definitely going to take an e-bike.
Definitely.
Yes.
I mean, I love getting a good workout, but you
Yeah.
still do. You really
Okay.
do. You can put it in the lowest setting. You can take the motorized all the way off, and it's a heavy bike. So you're
Mm-hmm.
pedaling the whole time. You're getting a workout still. So it was amazing, but you're not worried about, am I going to be able to keep up with the group? That was a wonderful thing because all those folks were avid cyclists, except for I think me.
So it still
So,
was a good sort of tour group, even though you're not an avid cyclist like maybe the rest of them.
right.
So you would highly recommend not just a cycling tour, but just a tour in general, because it sounds like you made some friends and it was a wonderful time.
It really was. We had three young men that served us, and they would load up our bikes, take them down, get them all ready, answer any questions, help us if we needed it. And every stop that we needed a break, they would be pulled off to the side with a table set up with snacks and
Oh,
drinks.
yeah.
And then at lunch, we would pull up into a winery, and it was on our GPS on our bikes that
Mhm.
they would put those on your bike so you would know exactly which way to turn. And we'd pull up into the winery at lunchtime, and they would have this most amazing spread.
Oh gosh.
So we
Yes.
got to try all the wines and then have the best kind of food, really healthy food too. These young men knew what they were doing. I don't know how, but they did. And
Awesome.
I have to
Yeah.
tell a story about one of the young men, Nate. He was riding, they take turns riding and driving the van. So Nate was riding with us this day, and we passed by a little flower boutique stall that was pay on your honor. And when we passed by us, several girls went, "Oh, look at that." And we didn't know he was behind us, and we didn't know he heard us oohing and ahhing. When we got to our snack area, our break area, he had bought a bouquet of flowers and given us each a flower.
Aw, that's so sweet.
Special.
Wow. That's
Great
so
guy.
thoughtful.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
And on the last day we were there, we all played limbo after we were eating
Oh
outside
gosh.
at an eatery, and got to play in limbo. And the three guys all together were going under it. They're just a hoot and a lot of fun. They were great. Very much of a servant's heart though, and very sweet to us.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
Made it special.
Have you ever joined another tour, a travel tour group before?
That was my
That
first.
was your first one. Okay. That's what I was
And
wondering.
now I'm
Like,
sold.
yeah, yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. Like you've gotten me excited, because obviously I'm an advocate for solo travel and I love it. But, there are times when, being with other people really makes the experience more exciting and just more memorable sometimes. So it sounds like you had such a positive experience.
I had no
Was
idea what to expect. And
yes, yeah.
early, just in case. I didn't
Hmm.
know what I was getting myself into, but I went a day early, stayed by myself in
Yeah.
Camas, Washington, across the river, and just had the best time hiking and being by myself. And then I had a room by myself. I was supposed to
Okay.
share, but they didn't show up at the bike tour. And so ended up being by myself in my room. So you're with people all day, and then you get to be by yourself still, which was the best of
That's
it.
a perfect setup. Yes. And we often suggest too, like if you're going to do a tour, to go like you did a day or two beforehand or stay a day or two after by yourself. So you do have some of that solo time, but you've also had that experience maybe joining other people. So that's
Right.
awesome.
In case somebody wants to know, are we supposed to say the name of the
You can
tour?
say that. Yeah, you can share the name. Yeah.
Okay. It was with Backroads, and I would just
Back
highly
roads. Okay. I've heard of
recommend.
them. Yeah.
Yeah. I get their books now, and I just sit there and dream about which place to go next. I truly am going to take another bike tour and
Oh,
another
awesome. Yes. Well, that's
all of
good to know that you had a great experience.
yeah.
And what did you, after that, where did you go
Okay,
somewhere
that was
else?
August. In September, I went to Costa Rica
There, yes, that's what I
on a
thought.
retreat, and I can't say that that was as good of a trip as the bike tour.
Mm,
Not because I went by myself. I did go a day early before the retreat and stayed in the northwest part, right
okay.
on the beach, actually called Playa Hermosa,
Yeah,
that area. Yeah. And I think you actually gave me,
I
I
probably did. Yeah.
with you and you referred me to that. So thank you.
Yes. A lot of beaches along there.
It was beautiful. It was a great B&B. I
Hmm.
walked to a place that the taxi driver or Uber, whatever it's called, referred me to eat called Ginger's, was amazing. But I didn't realize it didn't look that far when we were in the vehicle and he pointed at it. It was a 30-minute walk there and 30 minutes home. And I was getting nervous being by myself.
Oh,
But
oh,
I'm an explorer.
yeah.
And so that's just something I usually leap and then I think. And and I was looking at my phone thinking, this is a lot further than I thought as I got to walking. And then a little puppy dog, a real friendly one, started walking with me. And it actually made me feel more safe
Oh, that's
and
sweet.
comfortable. And he walked a good ways with me. And then I ate, and then he met back up with me on the way home and walked back with me part of the way. Barely made it home before dark.
Mm.
And thought next time I need to really look at how far it is on the walking distance.
Yeah. And even, I ran into that in Portugal where, GPS might say it's only what, a mile and a half, right? Okay, but
Mhm.
in certain areas, it's like all uphill mile and a half. Like, so it's not going to take the
In the
normal.
snow, barefoot,
Yeah. Well,
as
yeah.
they would
So it's
say.
not your typical, like, oh, it's only going to take 20, 30 minutes, to walk this distance. It takes longer because, it's just more hilly and it's like you're going all around the place. Yeah. It's not a straight shot, is what I'm getting at. So, yeah,
Yeah.
I've run into that too.
But I'd asked the driver, I said, hey, is it safe here? And then I asked the B&B, oh, both of them, oh, yes, very, very safe. But then you start getting out there, and I thought, oh, I forgot to bring my bear spray. Oh, I forgot, I don't have anything on me just in case. So, it was safe, and people were
hmm
very friendly. But it's just a kind of an uncomfortable feeling as you're out there alone as a woman.
Yes. Well, I'm
So,
glad you got back safe. So tell me a
yeah.
little bit about this retreat that you participated in.
Yeah, it wasn't what I thought.
Hmm.
For several reasons. And the first of all, the pictures of the juices lined up on the online site, all the colors, and I juice for myself. And so I thought, oh, good, I love carrots and beets and all the different colored juices.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I get there and I'm doing it for my health's sake. And
Okay.
every day we got just the green juice, the nasty flavored green juice, and it just didn't have a good flavor. And the leader of I guess I should say the owner, she didn't believe in sugar or anything. And so she didn't want you to get too much sugar, even from vegetables and from fruits, if you're going through this juice retreat. And I
Yeah.
paid a lot of money. And in my mind, for some reason, I thought I was going to get to juice and the food that was presented. I thought I was
Oh.
going to get to eat. And I got there and they go, oh, no, you just signed up for the juice retreat. So you
Oh.
get to
Ooh.
juice for 5 days.
Did you get really hungry?
I did.
Yeah.
Well, I did get hungry, but they constantly are giving you malic acid to drink,
Okay. Okay.
electrolytes. You have to drink so much per day.
hmm
Psyllium husk, which fills you up. I mean, it was just a constant taking something in, drinking.
Okay.
So I didn't get real hungry, but my mouth got hungry to chew, if you know.
hmm I would love to do one of those. But I think that's also, I don't know. I don't mind the whole detoxing. I love the idea, and I'm on board with that. But I
Yeah.
feel like I need food and some protein.
Oh, and they were eating around us. You would sit at the same table and they'd say, are you okay? And I'd be like, yeah, I'm okay.
Oh
And
gosh.
they would be eating that good food right there in front of us. And here
Oh,
I am on the ocean and craving seafood, which I love, and not getting to eat until that last day. And then they told us the last day, they said, okay, just slowly take,
yeah.
things back into your system. And I
No, that
thought,
makes
well,
sense.
I've got a stomach of steel. So I went into town on my own and I gorged a little bit.
Oh,
I thought I didn't get sick, but I was just so
so
ready
hungry, so
to eat.
famished. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And that
Oh,
kind of let me know I came back and I ate more than usual. I think I felt so deprived. And that's why I don't ever go on diets because I don't ever want to feel deprived. I just want my way of life of eating to
yeah.
be
A good, eating lifestyle. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
healthy lifestyle of eating. Yeah, that's probably
it's
better than the
really
feeling
psychological.
caloric deficient because then your body, kind of like it sounds like for you and me, like feels like it needs to catch up, right?
Yeah, yeah. I felt like I was starving. I knew I
Yes.
wasn't, but
Oh,
it
well,
was, and then the atmosphere, I know we haven't introduced yet tourism group that I'm bringing to the hill country, but so important to have a safe atmosphere. And I went to this place and it was not, I didn't feel peace around me like in my own home and think people that I'm around usually. It was not that way. It was, and matter of fact, even one of the ladies kind of attacked me for verbally, not physically, but verbally at one point. And I thought, what? And I was just as sweet as can be to her. And didn't understand, and I began to realize that not everybody
Mm.
has peace in their life or craves that
Mm.
like I do. And there was all the Buddhist statues everywhere, and it was just a different belief system, a different
Yeah.
atmosphere, and
Yeah.
just an atmosphere. I didn't think it was that important, but it really is important
Yeah.
for that.
Interesting that I've read from other people that have gone to retreats, and some have had awesome experiences, and but it's just like our everyday life. This, you run into people that you just don't know what they're going through and what their background is. And, it definitely, you're coming together in this small space, this retreat center that you were at, and bringing all kinds of different, backgrounds and beliefs and experiences. And you just don't know what you're getting when you get there.
Day
So
and night compared to
yeah.
what I had just done with the bike tour and
Hmm.
being around people that were just so kind and sweet and thoughtful. And there was 18 of us and
Yeah.
never had one problem in 6 days. And so it's possible when everybody has a heart to give and love and serve, and everybody likes peace in their life. It does make a big difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, I'm sorry that it didn't turn out as you planned. And I've been on plenty of trips like that where they didn't turn out as I planned.
But you talk about being in hostels. I cannot
Oh,
imagine being that close
gosh.
with some of the younger generation that like to stay up late and party and
It,
all
it,
that.
it was definitely, well, I learned that about myself that, I mean, as much of a budget traveler I am, and the certain situations it just depends. Like one hostel was amazing in that my floor was all people that were my age, and we all had really respect for one another. We even shared a washer and dryer together. I mean, like, and we ate together, some of the big group of us. And then there were others, like you said, there's just kind of a lack of respect for other people. And different cultures. You're talking about people from different cultures. So things are, in the US, I think we have a certain idea of what, respect is, as far as like a respectful time to go to bed, right? Or like, that kind of thing. Or the one thing that bothered me was people watching or listening to something without headphones at night
Oh,
in
drive
bed,
me crazy. Yeah,
like right above me, like, and I
yeah.
think, certain cultures, they don't see that as disrespectful, maybe. And then, or different age groups don't see that as so yeah, there's just all kinds of different variables, when you're dealing with hostels. And it sounds like you came across a little bit of that in your retreat. So yes.
Lesson
So
learned.
yes,
And
exactly. Live and learn, right?
yeah, and two, not everything is like it shows online.
That's very true.
And the thing is, though, I read the reviews and everybody had good things to say, but they didn't do just the juicing. They did the food also.
Oh, okay.
This was a not non-busy time. This is the rainy season that I went, so there was only about five of us there, not many. And
Oh,
so I think
okay.
it would be better if you had more people to depend on to connect with, and
Yeah. Okay. So it was
choose
a
better.
yeah.
Hmm.
And now maybe to do the healthy food choice next time. All right.
Right. I
Yes.
mean, the place was so beautiful. Another thing I think that I'm so glad I went a day before, because if I wouldn't have gotten out and explored the beaches and just walked
Yeah.
and saw the area. Instead, I get at this retreat and you're kind of confined.
Hmm.
And in the evenings, they would bus us over about 10 minutes to different beaches every evening.
Okay.
And then we did take a hike once, but it wasn't like where you're going out and taking a car to different places around that area and exploring, which I am an explorer. And so I did
Yeah.
feel very,
Little restricted. Yeah. Yes.
so I'd say think about that before you go, if you're going to be stuck in one place, and
Have
go with
that, like you said, that buffer, I like the idea before too, so you can really get an idea of the area before you get stuck in the
it.
retreat center. Yes. Well,
Yeah.
anything else after that? It sounds like you may have, no, it was just those two big trips you did.
No, I had a trip to Canada that got canceled, and then just recently a trip to Big Bend that got canceled, and both each had a sickness in their family and couldn't go.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's okay to
Well,
maybe
you've
stay.
been to Big Bend though before, yes? Or no?
Well, I haven't done it yet,
You
no.
haven't done it yet. Okay.
And so
It's
my friends are
remarkable. So yeah.
it's
Yeah.
what
It's
it's
remarkable. I've been there. I
remarkable. Oh, I thought you
love
said horrible.
No, no, I loved Big Ben, and I don't know why I waited so long to go, but definitely want to go back. So
Yes, I know. Well, it is a distance for us. Texas is like a country to drive across.
yeah, well, it's even further for me than for you.
Exactly. Yeah,
Like
I know.
8 hours. Yeah.
900 miles from side to side, top to bottom.
Yes, exactly. Yes. Well, you have started something new, a new business for yourself that combines this whole, and I imagine you going on that retreat may have been a little research kind of oriented as well, getting a feel for what other people offer. But you've started something on your own here in Texas in the Hill Country. Can you share a little bit about that and, what you offer and what you envision for this?
It was before the juice retreat that I,
Oh, okay.
it just made it more real about what I'm offering
Good.
to women
Yeah.
from all over the world. I'm offering a safe place for women.
Good.
You know what
Yes.
you know what you're going to get when you come. It's a Christian-based, Christ-centered type of retreat, but I think it's more genuine. I call it authentic luxury
Mm-hmm.
because you get a spa any day, anytime, anywhere.
True.
And I'm not doing that kind of luxury. I'm doing more like when they come here, they get picked up by my personal driver from the airport. They will have a chauffeur to take them to all the venues and the events that we go to. They will every morning have a homemade breakfast at their B&B, and they can choose to have their own room. These rooms are very roomy and nice. They can have a queen or king bed, or they can stay in a bunkhouse if they want to save money. Or it's a bunk room, I say. There's 4 beds in
Sure.
it. If
Okay.
they're
Okay.
extroverts, they'll want the bunk.
Yeah,
Bunk
yes, right.
for introverts
Exactly.
like
Or if
me,
you're
they're going to want their own room.
or if you're coming with, another friend or two, right? Then maybe,
Yes,
yeah,
yes,
exactly.
exactly. Well, the king or queen bed, because you could share a room too. So you could, and I don't do what is it when they do, they kind of penalize you for being solo and make you pay
Mm,
an charge.
the
I don't,
supplement.
yeah,
Yes. So no solo supplement.
no, not at
Good.
all.
Good.
And there's a pickleball court on the premises. There's 24 beautiful hill country acres. And peacocks come up at night
Oh,
on
I
this
love that.
property because there's a pond, and I think they come up to drink from it.
Mm,
And there's cows on the property, and I'm going to leave candy in packages when they arrive. So they're going to have cow candy. They're going to have a pickleball court. They're going to have a charcuterie board with champagne. And I'm going to have a DVD to learn how to line dance. So that'll be their camaraderie to learn that together.
okay.
Because we are going to go take them dancing. We've got some really cool places just 2 minutes from the B&B. And I've got some men friends that said they're going to teach them how to dance, two-step dance if they want to learn.
Okay.
So I know a lot of women love that kind of thing, and they can learn with safe men how to dance and, just be able to dance all evening. And then they'll have their line dance hopefully down before they go. And so I just want to just spoil them. I'm going to have 3 different kinds of packages though for different kinds
Okay.
of, options. Like there's going to be a Luxe Deluxe for more pampered time, more
Ooh.
shopping,
Yeah.
everything. And then there's going to be adventure seekers. That's going to be your not as active, but not as pampered. And so you might want to, we're going to go to waterfalls to take photographs, and you'll have to step down into that area. And farm to table is right out there. That eatery is right out there beside those waterfalls. And then there's a sports and more package, which will be paddleboarding. You can choose mountain biking, or you can choose to just trail bike along the river in Kerrville. We have beautiful trails along our river. And so
Oh,
they'll have options, from 3 different things to choose from. And we start March. We have a package in March, April, and May this next year.
okay.
And it's going to be our first opening packages. So I'm going to offer 10% discount And if they want to go to christianluxuryvacations.com and they want to put in, I think the discount code is first booking. Yeah. First,
Okay.
if they put that in there, then it'll give them a 10%.
10%. And I'll make sure I include that in the show notes for sure, and your website, so they
Yeah,
can just click on it and have all that information there, right? Because
great.
maybe you're
Yeah,
listening while you're driving, right?
that's right. Exactly. And another thing is I'll offer is if they, I don't know about, I think I've heard you talk about this minimalist packing. I used to be the girl that had two huge suitcases if I went somewhere for a week, and then my carry-on also. And I don't know how I pulled those things through the airport. It was ridiculous.
Right,
And
right.
finally have gotten to where I don't check luggage in. I just have what
See?
I stuff completely as much as you possibly can to get it up in that bin. And sometimes the men will feel sorry for me and say, "Can I lift that for you?"
Yeah.
Thank you so much. It is very heavy. And my backpack is sticking out a mile behind me, but I've just got my two carry-ons. And so
There you
I
go.
have a minimalist packing list, and they can go to my website, go to the contact form and put in the message, free packing list, and I'll send that to them too.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
I just,
Yeah.
yeah, because hey, if anybody is high maintenance, it was me. Anybody can do, if I can do it, anybody can. So
There you go. That's a
we're
testimony
both.
for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So this has been, I think when we spoke earlier this year, this has been kind of a dream of yours for a while. So how does it feel to finally see it come to life and actually like it's happening? Well, how do you feel about that?
Yeah, it's a little scary, to start this new, is you're talking about the business, not
Yeah, the
traveling.
business, the retreat, yeah, your business. Yes, yes.
Okay. Yeah, it is. It's scary because I just want to do the very best. I want everybody to have the best time. I want women to come and connect and just really, I want them to be restored. I know when I
Mm.
went on that retreat, that juice retreat, I was looking to be restored in more than just my physical. I wanted to be refreshed. I worked so hard and so many hours that I needed to come back different. And so I want
Yeah.
women to come back, come from this retreat, to come away different, revived, refreshed. And if they're like me, I think most everybody has adventure inside of them and they like to just explore and go see waterfalls, sit by a rapid at the river, or just go to places. There's a place called Hat Bar in Fredericksburg. And if you're from Texas, everybody goes shopping in Fredericksburg. It's the place to go.
Yes, it is. Yeah, I've been there.
And so there's a hat bar, and you can sit and get a cowboy hat and then they have feathers and jewels, and they have the bands and all the things, and you can write on it, and you can make your own hat
Oh,
and
fun.
go back a Texan.
I'm
Apart.
gonna I'm gonna have to. I haven't been to Fredericksburg since I think I was there in 2021. That's the
Yeah,
last time I was there. So, but
popular
I
festival.
didn't get to the hat bar.
Yeah. Oh, I just discovered it recently myself. So
Okay.
some
Yeah.
amazing things. There are so many amazing things in the Hill Country.
Hmm.
I was the leader of a singles group for 6 years until COVID. And the reason I started the singles group is because I was lonely on a holiday and crying about it. My daughter said, "Mom, you have to be proactive. You have to make plans." I'm like, "You're right." And so from then on, I started doing things. My first thing was a float down the river with 7 people. They loved it. And I said, "Okay." They said, "Let's do it again." So we said, "Okay, next month we'll do it again, but invite other friends." So
Yeah. Yeah.
11 people the next time. And I started thinking, oh, well, these guys and these girls, maybe I can match make them too. So I was always trying to get people together that way because singles have a hard time knowing where to meet somebody.
Yes.
And
No,
so,
I love that idea. And of course that makes sense of why you have created this retreat center
yes,
as part of sort of a space, like you said,
yeah,
not just a safe place for women, which I love because that in itself, your statement in itself, because like we just talked about your retreat experience, like not knowing
yeah,
what you were getting into, but that is your vision, your mission for your retreat center, and how that will obviously people are going to be drawn to that because that is important. And especially, like you said, if women are coming to get renewed, refreshed, or restored in some way during your retreat, there needs to be that safe place in order to do that.
Yeah.
So,
And it might not be for everybody because it will be Christian based and we're going to go up every time, every retreat, no matter which package it is, we'll go up on what if there's a cross on the hill in Kerrville,
mhm.
very popular and actually known worldwide, but there's a huge cross, 77-foot cross up there, and we're going to have a worship band that we will
Oh, wow.
have a time of worship. We'll have prayer rocks we can ride on. There's thousands of prayer rocks already there. There's a bronze sculpture of Jesus holding a
Mm,
baby with a woman sitting beside him, and you can sit down beside that and just let the Lord, restore and
yeah,
maybe go through some healing. A lot
yeah.
of women have done that sitting there at that bronze statue. And
Mm,
so, I mean, I know of all these little hidden gems in the hill country from
yeah.
doing the singles, because at first it was, okay, what are we going to do next month? Then it was, what are we going to do next weekend? And so this went on for 6 years. It went from 7 people to 150 people from all over the.
Oh, wow.
So it was an
Wow.
amazing group of people. And out of that group, there were 7 couples that found each other and got married and are still married.
Oh, see, that's
It's
even
even
more
better.
exciting.
Yeah.
Yes, that's so
Yeah.
sweet.
So I love to connect people. I love to show them the beauty because I just know where all the places are. I know
Yeah.
where to paddleboard to the waterfalls. I know where to paddleboard to the rapids, and we're going to have picnics and wine when we stop halfway paddleboarding. So we're going to do some really special stuff for the women.
That
That's what
sounds
we call
beautiful. Beautiful.
it.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, amazing. Well, again, I'll make sure I include that in the show notes for them to click and check it out. So it starts March. You said March, April, May. You have three right now planned, and you probably
Yes.
will have more later for 2025, I'm
Oh, yeah.
sure,
We'll
right?
keep going. I'll
Keep
start hiring other tour guides to help me because I'll want to be such a part of it at the beginning.
Yes, it
But
sounds like it. Yeah, because
I've
it's
talked
part of
to
you. It's your heart. It's your desire. So definitely I'm the same way. You know, you have this dream and vision for something. You want to keep your hand in it in
yeah,
some way, right?
but I
Yeah.
have wonderful women around me that said, "Oh, I'd love to do that too." And some are retired, some are my age, and they just have a heart for women. And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, when it gets going, I'm hiring you. I'm holding.
Yes, that's awesome. Oh,
I'm
well,
excited.
I just love that because I mean, I would love to have a retreat center too. So uh, I just might have to come to yours, right?
Come to mind. Yeah, maybe you can come work at mine
Yeah,
until
yeah. It's
and
not
then
that, I
take
mean,
over.
not that far. I could, what, like about a 3 hour, 3.5 hour drive, maybe something like that.
Are you Dallas or Fort Worth?
Dallas.
Or Dallas. It's
Mhm.
about four and a half
Four.
hours. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I think it's closer to four.
Oh,
You're
the
right.
Hill Country's worth it. You need to come.
Oh, I know. I know. I need to get back to Fredericksburg. So
Yeah.
definitely.
I'll make a hat at the hat
Yeah.
bar.
Oh, yes, we do. We need, we
Chocolate
need,
with liqueur in it at the chocolatier. I
oh
mean,
gosh.
there's so many cool
Yes.
things there.
Well, let's definitely offline. Let's plan something.
Okay, let's do.
Yes. That sounds good. Well, Kimberly, I love your heart for women and creating a safe space for them. And having this opportunity to share that in your retreat center is amazing. I thank you for sharing your travels and kind of telling us, the lowdown on that tour
Dude,
group. Yeah.
you.
Yeah. So, I mean, as we say, it's okay to join tour groups. It's a way for solo travelers to not feel alone, but yet they get there maybe alone and they meet people, right? And they get to share that experience with other people. So that's the hope when they join a tour group. And, my hope is that they also have a good experience in their tour group, like your bike thing. So, thank you for sharing that as well. And any other, how about you share a golden tip or a nugget of truth that you would share with other solo traveling women?
I would say I went over a fence I shouldn't have and almost got shot in Costa Rica. So I would say if you're adventurous, just remember when you're in another country or when you're in another place that you really need to be aware of your surroundings, be aware of that you're that you're not with a group, that you're alone,
Yeah,
and
you're
to
alone.
safety precautions, because I am a leap first, then
I
think.
was say
And
think before you jump, right? Maybe.
before you jump,
Maybe.
yes, yes, don't just go crazy like you're going.
Yeah,
I
that's
would say
true.
that.
That's true. Because
Yeah,
when you're alone, you really have to almost think twice.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I
That's
know
good.
God's with me and He protects me,
Yeah.
but sometimes he's sitting there thinking, shaking his head, saying, "Oh my
Yeah.
God, your angels are so busy."
Yeah. Oh, that's funny.
Careful,
I
all
love
you
it.
adventurous people, all you venture.
Yes. No, that was, oh gosh. Yeah. My mom used to say that about me because I would leap before thinking. And so I've tempered that quite a bit, because like you said, I travel solo, so I have to, think before in most cases I do. Sometimes I fly by the seat of my pants
It
and
takes some chances to have
oh
fun,
yeah,
don't
yeah, yeah. So,
it?
well, awesome. Kimberly, I'm so happy that we got connected and I was able to get you on the show here. And thank you so much for sharing all of your lovely trips this past year and what you're offering women coming up in 2025. So I appreciate it.
It was a pleasure being on the show with you, especially since I listen to you
I
all the
know.
time. I'm excited.
I
Thank
am
you.
too. Thank you so much. Hey, sister travelers. Did this podcast inspire and encourage you or move you to get out there and travel? Wonderful. There are 3 ways you can thank me. First one is leave a written review for the show on Apple Podcast. 2, share the show with your sister travelers, your friends, your family. And 3, subscribe to the show so you never miss an episode. And thank you again for listening to the show. Sisters, be fearless, take the leap, and get out there and have an adventure.